Distributed Forever here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. And today's video is round 2 of the Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection videos that I just started putting out. But today's palette is the Dark Magic palette. I asked you guys on Instagram which palette you wanted to see next, and this was the palette that y'all wanted to see. And I was actually kind of shocked because cool tones usually don't really vibe well with my skin complexion or my undertone. So I was a little shook that that's what y'all wanted next, but y'all get what y'all want with the kid. So make sure you thumbs up this video to show that you're vibing with the Dark Magic palette. So this is the shades up close. And girl, now I did my video on the Bling Boss palette, which you can click the eye right now if you haven't seen that one yet. That was a very shookening experience, so I highly recommend that you watch that one. But you know, a lot of people have been saying that a lot of these shades look too similar, and I didn't find that super true with the Bling Boss palette. But honey, with this doggone Dark Magic palette, we're gonna do some investigating with this one here. So first, let me swatch them like I did in the last video. This is what the first row of shadows looks like. Okay, so these are the swatches on the last row of the palette in order of which they appear. I forgot to mention that in the first row, but these are in the order of which they appear in the palette. It has a lot of similarities with the original palette as well as the Armed and Gorgeous. That's a little problematic. So here is again the Dark Magic palette, and if you look at the Armed and Gorgeous palette, the color Top Secret, in my personal opinion, looks really close to Potion. So I'm going to swatch them. They look the exact same. They look the exact same, you guys. So I'm gonna swatch Potion. So this is Potion from the Dark Magic palette. And on a different finger, I'm swatching Top Secret. Butter my freaking bread and call me toast. These are exactly the same. These are Jaclyn, these, you guys, and the word of the day is shook. How do you sell two shades that close in? Jaclyn, what was the tea on this? Why are they so close in shades, sis? Okay, now to do some swatches. So I'm gonna swatch Diversion, which is from the Vault. And then I don't know the names of these colors, but the similar one from Jaclyn Hill's. Okay, those look very different, so I gotta give them that. My bad, Jaclyn, because I was about to drag you, sis. Next, we're gonna go into the shimmery green shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette. Oh yeah, that's not the same. And then Trickery from the Vault. Yeah, those are different too. Okay, she's doing good so far, but let's keep on seeing, y'all. I'm swatching Inside Job from the Vault collection, and we're gonna go in with Forest Green Tree Huggin' from the Morphe, or from the OG palette, excuse me. These look pretty darn similar. This one looks slightly darker, but only very slightly. And then I guess for kicks and giggles, we'll do Temptress, which is the black shade. Ooh, they're swatching, that swatch nice. Okay. And then this black shade from the Jaclyn Hill original palette. Yeah, this one's nicer from the Vault. That dang near look great next to it. Okay, so now we're gonna go on ahead and get into the look. Let's see if this palette is any better than the Bling Boss was, if it has the same problematic behaviors. So just like last time, I'm gonna prime my eyes with the Makeup Revolution Concealer in C12. From working with the Bling Boss palette, I kind of realized some of these mattes were not the pigmentation that I was used to. So this time I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm going to basically lay down the color first and then try blending it out. I'm gonna take a flat shader brush and I'm gonna use Potion in the crease. I'm also paying attention to see if these shades are gonna look deeper on the eye than they do in the pan, because that had me shook too. So I'm just using a blending brush and I'm gonna blend out the edges. Let me try a different brush. This brush is shedding like crazy for some reason. I'm using the M502 brush. It's not the easiest in the world to blend. So I'm gonna use Inside Job, this deeper green, on the outer V or outer half of my lid. Oh, this color is really pigmented. I'm kind of just jumping around my lid, kind of just, you know, filling these shades out and stuff. I think I'm gonna cut the inner half of my lid and I'm gonna do some shimmers on the inner half, some mattes on the outer half. I'm going into Inside Job again and kind of just going over those edges a little bit. I think I kind of want to go into Mojo on the outer part of the lid. I'm gonna go into Trickery green here, and I'm going to apply that where I put the concealer. Gorgeous. And this shadow is applied dry. On a smaller flat shader brush, I'm gonna go into the color Power Cut, which is a silvery, champagne-y almost color. I'm again making sure that where these colors meet, they blend nicely. So I'm going into the green, into Trickery, and into Power Cut again. Not sure how I feel about this look just yet, but I'm going to do my other eye and then I will be back. Okay, as you guys can see, I am back with my concealer on. I have a little bit of bake underneath my eyes because I do want to apply color to the lower lash line and I just didn't want to deal with any fallout. So I want to use the color Busted all along the lower lash line. So it's going to be like a pop of color because I want to see how this will look as well. Ooh, honey. So Busted is absolutely stunning. I think it really pulled this look together and I think it might be my favorite color in the palette, even though it's just on my lower lash lines, but it's so pigmented and vibrant. It just really packs a punch. So I really like this color. So I'm going to finish up my face and then I will be back with my final thoughts on the Dark Magic palette. Alrighty guys, so this is the final look. Do we love? Do we like? I love this look. I decided to obviously go for a very bold lip. I know that might not be everybody's taste, but I'm feeling it, hunty. But anyways, let's go on to my final thoughts about the Dark Magic palette. I'm shocked because I thought that Bling Boss was gonna be my favorite of all the palettes so far, and Dark Magic was the one I was least excited for, but I actually really like this palette, and I honestly like it better than the Bling Boss because of how it performed. It performed a lot better than the Bling Boss palette did for me. The only shadow that I had a little bit of an issue with was Potion. So on this eye, I decided to kind of lay the color out first and then try to blend it, and it was not very blendable that way. And then on this eye, I just picked up a lot of pigment and then blended it out with the blending brush like I usually would, and it worked out just fine doing it that way. So I had the reverse problem when I did the Bling Boss palette, so I think that's a little iffy, but the shimmers worked very great. The mattes that I used, they worked very nicely as well, with the exception of Potion, but definitely not as underwhelming as the Bling Boss palette was for me. I really like this palette. From swatching this black shadow, it is very, very pigmented in comparison to the original, so I think that is nice. But my con though, and it is a big con, is that most of these colors are duped in other palettes. These colors are very similar. This color is identical to the shade in the Armed and Gorgeous. I just think that that's kind of problematic. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. So because of that, I wouldn't necessarily say that I full-blown recommend this. I just have an issue with so many of the shades being so incredibly similar to shades that Jaclyn herself has already put out in this collection. But as far as the performance goes with this, I think that it was great, a great upgrade in comparison to the Bling Boss palette. So based off performance, I would recommend it. Based off the fact that it has so many other similar shades, it's skippable if you have the OG palette or if you have the Armed and Gorgeous. But the shade that I live for, honey, which is not in any capacity in any of the other palettes, is the shade Busted. Me personally, this reminds me of the shade that I was hoping for in the Subculture palette that was absolute trash. So I really love this shade. Alrighty guys, so that concludes this video. I hope you found this information helpful. Are you going to buy the Dark Magic palette? Let me know in the comments below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Definitely subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! And I'm just taking a small brush. I look like a bad snack.